Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, girls, boys, everyone in between. Some more Minecraft here at Piggy's Palace. FTB Direwolf, and I want to show you some stuff I've been making because it's all very, very exciting. First of all, we have the flux-infused jetplate. Now, if we look at jetpacks, you will see you start off with the Redstone jetpack, then you go hardened, reinforced, resonant, and then flux-infused jetplate. This is incredible. I'm going to show you. Look how quick this is. We are now Supergirl, flying through the air with greatest speeds. This is amazing. This took a lot of work to do, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Just exactly how we make one of these things and some of the problems with the actual mod itself, because the recipe is actually broken. So we did have to go to our server administrator and get him to cheat in the last piece, which I will get into right now just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you the original jetpack which I was using, if I can find it. So that's in here. So this was the reinforced jetpack. So this is the third tier jetpack. I then went on to a resonant jetpack afterwards, but not for very long. But you can see this is a decent jetpack. It's quite expensive for a resonant jetpack, and it's kind of like the family station wagon. You know, it's got the kid seats in the back, and you can do the shopping in it and pick up your mum. That's the kind of jetpack that is. Whereas this bad boy is a Formula 1 car. It is doing Daytona. It is, oh, this is just incredible. This is so good. I'm so happy with this. It was really expensive, and it was quite difficult to make. So I'm just going to get into that now, exactly what we had to go through to make this jetpack. So let's pop this one in the recharger. So this is my crafting table here. This is applied at Energistics. So if we have a look at jetpacks, you can see with the jetpacks, they kind of go one after the other. The good thing about this is you can make yourself an armoured resonant jetpack and use it as part of the materials for the flux-infused jetpack. So you can see here, resonant jetpack armoured is part of the ingredients, which is really good. So this is mainly made of these fluxed armor plating, which is quite expensive. You have to get the flux crystals and fluxed electrum ignites. So the fluxed electrum ignites are made by putting fluxed electrum blend and white sand. Fluxed electrum blend is electrum, which is quite a pricey mass. It's silver and gold for electrum. And destabilized redstone buckets. Now you're going to have to use quite a lot of destabilized redstone buckets. So the way you use those is you go over to your magma crucible and you fill it up with redstone, and then let that come into a fluid transposer, and then stick your buckets in here, and then that will fill up with destabilized redstone, which is quite easy to do. It's only redstone, so it's not that expensive, but it is quite a laborious process because you have to fill up all these buckets, and every time you make a material, because you're using a lot of signalium. So the signalium blend, as you can see here, takes a bucket each, and each time you make one, you get 4 signalium dusts for each recipe. You have to take a bucket out and put a bucket in, so it's quite annoying. There's probably a way to automate it, which smarter people than me will tell you about. But when we make our jetpack, we then have to make these here resonant flux packs armoured. Now, this completely stumps me because there's no recipe for it. So how do you make resonant armoured flux packs? So we go into here and we can see you can make resonant flux packs, which are resonant energy cells plus reinforced flux packs. Reinforced flux pack is just a leadstone flux pack, and we've got recipes for that. It's an energy cube with a strap on it, which is fine. So you can follow that up. But then it comes to here, and it's like, well, how do I get a reinforced energy cell? Because there's no recipes for reinforced energy cells. And if we type in energy cell, you see we've only got basic or frames. So how do we make these? And what I found was, if you actually go into cell, you can see the cell frames. So we've got reinforced cell frames, signalium cell frames, resonant cell frames. So we can see them, but we can't make them. So how do you make them? So my friend very kindly showed me upgrades. So he's given me these ones, which are actually draconic evolution upgrades, but they do exactly the same thing as the thermal expansion upgrade. So let's type in upgrade. So if we have a look here, we have hardened upgrade, reinforced upgrade, signalum upgrade, and resonant upgrade. So these are the ones you want to take an energy frame. Now let's type in energy frame. So if we take our energy cube, so this is our basic energy cube, and then we go for an upgrade. So this is the first upgrade we go for, hardened upgrade. Okay, so now we take our energy cube, which is the normal one, and we use our upgrade kit on it. Now it's a hardened energy cell. So if we put the reinforced one on it, it becomes a reinforced energy cell. If we put a signalum, it becomes a signalum energy cell, and if we put resonant on it, it becomes a resonant energy cell. So I went online to try and find this process and couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm going to put this video up in the hope that this helps someone. So this is how you go from a standard energy cell to a resonant energy cell. You can either use draconic evolution, reinforced upgrade kits, or the ones I use, because I'm using thermal, are the thermal foundation upgrade kits. And it's as easy as that, as easy as falling off a log. Let me just get one more, because I want to show you something else with this as well. So, I didn't use any of these for anything. It's only recently that I found this. So, what I also found is that all of our other machines in thermodynamics have augmentation slots, which I couldn't use. So I'm going to show you a standard. This is a standard basic redstone furnace. So if we look up here, it says augmentation, upgrade required. Great. So why can't I use it? I've got my upgrade here, so I thought. Where does that go? Does it go in here? Does it go in here? So we can't use our upgrade. And the reason for that is because this is a one-tier basic redstone furnace. Whereas if we have a look over here, this redstone furnace has been reinforced. So again, we use our hardened upgrade kits on these to upgrade them. So this one's got a signalum upgrade for pulverizer, because I want my pulverizer to work really quickly. So let's have a look. This is a standard one. We can't put any upgrades in here. This is a second tier upgrade, and we can now stick upgrades in there. And obviously it uses a lot more power with the upgrades because it's a lot quicker. And then this one's a third tier, so I can put 3 upgrades into here, all the different types. And if you go for upgrade on thermal, let's get rid of that. It's not showing on here. Let's go for thermal. Here we go. These ones down here, you've got all of these to choose from, and if you press shift, it shows you what they all do. So you can increase maximum power usage and processing speed. You can split stuff, you can do Wi-Fi, increases yield from ores, so you can get better yields even than the standard 2-to-1, which is really good. So all of these, I haven't even started to get into this. Now the problem with that is obviously the more you do, the more power you're using. So, if you remember, I have my little tree farm out here which is generating redstone flux. I've done some work on this. Look at this bad boy. So we've gone from having 2 compression dynamos and 1 fractionating still to having 2 fractionating stills, 2 steam dynamos, and 10 compression dynamos. So these have all been upgraded, as you can see, to signalum. So they've had 3 upgrades in them. And I could probably augment them as well to go even more, which is ridiculous. So it's a rabbit hole. You can just go down and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. Upgrade your main machines and then just upgrade your power and kind of keep them balanced with each other so they can keep up. So this was kicking out 400 RF. It's now kicking out 1,124,000 RF, which which is ridiculous. And it's all lovely, and it's still working off of 2 trees. 2 trees, 3 arboreal extractors each. Oh, they are actually running out now. That's interesting. These ones are running out. Okay, so we might want to get that other spruce tree involved, because these ones here are struggling to keep up. That's good. I just checked that, because I've just been whacking upgrades on it and thinking it's just going to be there forever. So that's interesting. So yeah, so that's all coming up to here. This thing here is kicking out some serious power. I'll show you this. So here's our jetpack, which has got 60 million RF capacity, and it needs filling up 10 million, yeah, which would have taken the old one. Well, I would have had to left it going all day. Look at this. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. It's ridiculous. It's so good. That's so good. So yeah, we've got some engineers infrared goggles because they look cool. I'll show you. Look how bad boy I am. Look at that. And now these make me mean I can see through things. So if there's mobs out here, I can actually see them. That comes in very handy. You can see here, look my armor frames have got, I can see through the walls to see my armor frames, because it registers them as people. So you can put clothes on them. Speaking of which, here's my nanosuit. So I've got my nanosuit helmet, which I'm not going to put on because I've got my goggles. My nanosuit leggings, which I will put on because it's a bit cold tonight. And my nanosuit booties, which protect me from falling, which is good. Over here, we've got the pulverizer, which is linked into redstone. They're all upgraded. I'll show you what these upgrades do. So this is the basic redstone furnace I was showing you earlier. So if I just shift click on that, you can see it's upgraded. Job done. So that all feeds into magma crucible, fluid transposer, a sawmill. We've got our energetic infuser, a compactor, which I've been using quite a lot, induction smelter, which is getting so much use, a crystallizer, which I thought looked cool, and a photogenic isolator, which I still haven't used, but sounds amazing, doesn't it? We had an Enderman in here, but he got out. He escaped. He didn't like it in here. We have our atomic reconstructor, which we use for some of our actually addition stuff, which is really cool. Fires a little laser and makes crystals. I love that. Over here we have a teleporter, which teleports us downstairs. This is our actually additions kind of workstation. What's the spider doing in here? It's a bit worrying. We have our nuclear power station up here, which we have upgraded. So we've now got all 9 cells available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reactor chambers gives you all 9 cells of here. So this is a completely stable nuclear reactor with quad fuel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 fours of uranium rods, which gives us 420 EU per tick. So if you remember the old one, which was like this, it didn't have the 3 extras. This is here just in case I do need to upgrade. Had 1, 2, 3, 4 cores, and that was it. And that was kicking out 60 EU per tick. So 60 EU per tick compared to 420 EU per tick. And this is completely stable. We've got component heat vents in this pattern here, which are spreading the heat across the system. And we have overclocked heat vents, which are completely stable. They might drop to 900 and then they go back up again. Most important component is this component heat exchanger, which is the key to keeping it cool and stable. Without that, the whole thing would melt down and explode. And that now links into 3 times HV cables, which is going down to my miners, which are rubbish. I need to upgrade my mining system. So this MFE is always full. It used to struggle to get full. It's now always full. So that's good. Oh, I forgot to put my jetpack on. That was careless. Well, let's go for a little walk up through the woods. It's always nice to go through the woods. Let's see the nice little pretty flowers. We've also got, for our weaponry, we've now got a flux-infused bow and a flux-infused sword. These are bad boys. They work really well. At getting rid of creeps and mobs who are badmen that want to hurt us. Where's my... Oh, I took it off. There we go. Okay, so what else have we got? We need to remember to turn this off, because otherwise I'll walk into it and get teleported downstairs again. the teleporter's quite an expensive toy. I'll just show you that. It's quite key with some of the IC2 higher tier machines. You have to make quite a few teleporters. So it's an advanced machine casing, frequency transmitter, glass fiber cable, and 4 advanced circuits. And the advanced cases are quite expensive. I've got advanced alloys, carbon plates, steel plates. So yeah, the teleporter's not cheap. And to run it, we need to have a MFSU sitting right next to it, which also are not cheap. But the MFSU is quite handy because I just chuck my leggings in there and my booties when I need to charge up. And they charge up really quickly. So whenever I need a quick recharge of my Nanosuit, which I'm hoping to upgrade to a quantum suit once I find some chests, because I need iridium shards to do that. So down here, we were doing crossbreeding, but I've got rid of a farm because it's now an ender farm. But I will do a crossbreeding episode once I've got enough ender seeds and plants, and I don't need ender anymore, because the crossbreeding was really confusing, and I'd like to do a quick video to kind of explain to people how to do it. The reason we did crossbreeding, we were crossbreeding sugar canes to create, I'll show you over here, stickweed seeds. Now stickweed, when it grows to its full height, it's probably not going to do it while I'm on camera, but once it goes to full height, it looks slightly different to a normal sugar cane. It's got orange tips, and once it's at full height, if it's harvested by the crop harvester, it makes rubber. Look at that. That's only been a couple of days. I wanted to get 4 of these, but I think 2's okay. So I've been living well with 2. So this is my rubber farm, which has been lovely because you use so much rubber in industrial craft because of all the cabling. I mean, you saw that HV wires, quadruple insulated, which is a lot of rubber. So let's see, is it going to go? At the moment you can see it's got green along the sides here, but when that gets a little bit bigger it has orange, and that's how you can tell there's stickweed. So this just grows and gets cut and grows and gets cut and creates rubber, which is amazing. So what else have we got in here? We've got a, let's get rid of some space. We've got here a recycler. This is for all the junk that you pick up along your way, and I was actually deliberately mining cobblestone, filling up all my bags of cobblestone just to chuck it in here. Why would I do that, you say? The recycler creates something called scrap, and the scrap you can put over here into a mass fabricator, and that creates UU matter. And the UU matter we can use in our replicator, which is over here. We have to scan anything that we want to replicate, like any ender seed, for example, and it will tell us how much it's going to cost. The patterns go in here, and then we can stick it in our replicator with some UU matter and create whatever we want. But it's very noisy, so I always turn it off. Let's do it. It's like an old 80s arcade, so I always turn that off. But that was just something I was playing with just to see what it does, really, because why not, eh? And that's pretty much it for what we've got going on here. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. But we now have the best jetpack in the game and the best weapons in the game. So I want to upgrade everything to have Enderium, so everything runs silky smooth and super quick and super high power. So that's where we are at the moment. I hope my tutorial for energy cubes helped someone, because I was really stuck and I was getting quite emotional because getting all the way to making this flux-infused jetpack. I'll show you the bit which I had to cheat in. This here, the resonant flux pack armoured, is impossible to make. It's supposed to have a resonant flux pack and a piece of Invar ingots armour plating, and it just won't go together. So you'll either have to cheat it in yourself, or you'll have to get your server admin to cheat it in for you. So be warned, unless it gets fixed in one of the patch notes, if you're making the flux-infused jetpack, watch out, because that piece there might stump you. And I'd made everything else apart from that, so I got quite emotional. But now, I have the best jetpack in the game! Thank you for joining us here at Pinky's Palace, and we'll see you next time for more Minecraft. Bye!